Hello everybody, it's me, Natalie here. Welcome to my channel, Find Joy in the Journey. I'm happy because, first of all, I figured out what to do with my huge cherry tomato plant. Excuse my appearance, but it's been really hot lately, so this is a bonnet and hat day. Look. These are called garden sleeves. I'm wearing them for two reasons. Reason number one, to protect me from rubbing up against those little itchy plants. But also I got a pair of, I think it was a 3-pack. Isn't that pretty? I think 3 or 6. It doesn't matter, but they're different floral prints. Also, I was hoping that it will block the sun when I'm wearing short sleeves because I had a farmer's tan. 2 different colors. I do wear sunscreen on my face and my neck, but I was neglecting to put it on my arms. So I've started putting sunscreen on my arms, but my arms were so much darker than the rest of me. It looked weird. I was two-toned. So I was hoping the little garden sleeves would help with that too. But see, some things that I have to do in the garden that is what I consider tedious or is just, I just don't want to deal with it right now. One of those things was cutting down the basil. And I'm not talking about, I showed you the super sweet Genovese basil, but I only had one little plant that grew real big, but it's so strong, my family didn't like the smell of it. So, and it's regrowing. Once you harvest it from it, it's regrowing. It's growing back. But I'm just going to leave it there just as a deterrent for pests. But I had 3 huge basil plants right by this huge tomato plant. I'll show you in a second. And then there's also a pepper plant in that same raised bed. That tomato plant, and it's a cherry tomato plant, was taking over. I was advised by someone, a YouTuber. He said, I don't prune my plants. I don't prune the suckers. I don't do all that. I just let it grow. I don't cut off the bottom branches for airflow, and my plants grow just fine. And I'm like, well, maybe let's see what happens with this plant. But as you can see in a prior video, it was out of control. So I did finally go out there. I cut the basil because it was just the whole bed was being just overrun by those 2 things, those basil plants and also that cherry tomato plant. It was way too much. So I did prune the cherry tomato plant. It looks much different. If I have a before photo, I will do a before and after side by side. But we're gonna go over there now. Field trip! We're gonna go over there now and see what I'm doing. I know I showed you a few things in a prior video, but we're just gonna go over it again. So it's a recap. And also we're gonna revisit that large cherry tomato plant and also show you a few new things. I showed you my garden sleeves, but I'm going to show you my new patio piece that I have over here. I have a lovely little patio sofa. I told you that I was straightening up the patio to make it more comfortable. I bought the new patio sofa just Saturday. I bought it off Facebook Marketplace. I don't think I've ever purchased anything off Facebook Marketplace. I've sold things, but I've never purchased anything. But this, wait till you see it. It's gorgeous. And I asked her, I said, you're getting rid of this? She said, it doesn't go with my patio anymore. the way my patio is made. I'm like, okay, where do I sell you the cash? Okay, it's perfect for my space. It's not too big, it's super comfortable, multiple seating, and it was in excellent condition. Talk about used like new. It's perfect. I got a new storage box right behind me. You can't see it, but I will show you. I have a little tiny greenhouse, and I think that's what I'm going to use to protect my mustards and my collards and whatever else I can fit in there. I may put the lettuce in there, but it's just a little tiny greenhouse. It's a greenhouse cover topper, so I'll show you that. And so let's just get to it. Like I said, excuse my appearance. It's a bonnet day. All right, guys, field trip. Okay, here's the deck box. It's 130 gallons. So this is what I'm going to use to get rid of some of the clutter that's under my patio now. It's just overrun with garden supplies. See on top of the table, those are all those my little unused planters. Some are brand new, never been used, and some have been used. And I'm just going to wash them, sterilize them, and reuse them, and also find a place to store them until I need them. Then the deck box, haven't decided. It's really large. I haven't decided what I'm going to store in there, but it's going to come in handy. I have so many different things to put in there. Okay? While I'm in here, since it's open, here. These are the garden sleeves. I got them from Amazon. Those, so I have at least, so it's a 4-pack. I have 3 other designs in there. These are my garden sleeves. I got that from Amazon. Okay, so we're gonna move over this way. That is my new patio set. I know right now, I've been sitting on it. I literally was relaxing in front of the fan. And while I was there, I just decided to put together that greenhouse topper. Let's see if I can move everything so you can see. First of all, that's the greenhouse topper. There it is. That's what I put together. Okay, so definitely I will be able to fit the collards and the mustard greens in there. I got this from Tractor Supply. Here it is. And it was on clearance. You know I love clearance. Would be perfect. But this is the little greenhouse topper, 45-inch. There it is. Now I'm going to move it so you can see my little sofa. One more. So there it is. It is in perfect condition. I can't believe this was something that was used. Perfect condition. It's extremely comfortable. I paid little or nothing for it. And look, just like that guy, when I was selling my little metal rocker on Facebook Marketplace, and I had it for a very low price. The guy asked me if I had any wiggly room in the price. I'm like, how much wiggling do you need, sir? It's already dirt cheap. But in this case, with this sofa, I'm like, hey, let me give it a try. Let me ask the lady if she had any wiggly room. Wiggly, that's what he said. Not wiggle room, wiggly room. He wanted to know if I had wiggly room in the price, so guess what? I asked her, I said, hey, are you set on the price, or would you be willing to sell it for a bit less? And she absolutely was willing. So I love it. It's perfect for what I need. This is not a huge space, so it is perfect, and it's made out of metal, so it's good and sturdy. Like I said, I was just lounging on it before I decided to get up and go and tackle that tomato plant. So that's where we're heading now, to the tomato plant. Field trip. We're just gonna walk over now. Remember that cherry tomato plant that was so big I couldn't even get back far enough for you to see the entire thing? Well, it got a shave and a haircut. I pruned the devil out of this thing. I mean, it was just growing all over the place. It's still pretty thick on the other side. You couldn't even see the tomato cage. And it's still leaning. It's extremely heavy. Look, as you can see, I got some tomatoes going. And see, they're large. See, I was concerned because the tomatoes weren't getting large. And these are supposed to be large cherry tomatoes. So I think now that I've pruned it, and I tried not to do too much in one day. See, look at that. That's a lot. So I'm going to have to figure out how to suspend it upwards, so I'm going to work on that. But I'm not staying out in this heat too long. I tell you that much. I love my garden, but not enough to have a heat stroke. Okay. So, but I have a feeling the cherry tomatoes are going to be much larger because the plant was just overextended. It had tomatoes growing from everywhere. It had branches and extra branches and suckers and all of that. It was just overtaxing the plant. So, and I was told that when you prune it, try to do a little at a time, so you won't stress the plant, okay, or shock the plant. So that's what I did. So I gave it its first haircut. Now over here, I have another cherry tomato plant. See the difference? Those are 2 cherry tomato plants right there. And they're not at half the size of this one. So I don't know what happened. This one is just very happy in this in this raised bed because it was humongous. So like I said, I'll put a side-by-side picture so you can see the difference. So I got some tomatoes growing on this one. I'm back. I'm now back under the patio in front of the fan. I hope you guys can hear me because I actually have 2 fans. But at least I'm comfortable and I'm safe under here. What I've been doing is I go out, I work a little bit, and then I come back, I get my cool water. My doctor told me to add in something with electrolytes in it. She also put me on potassium because I was experiencing leg cramps, believe me. It's no fun. And I think it was because of I'm drinking a lot of water. I do drink a lot of water, and I try to stay hydrated, but I do, even though I don't like it, I don't like those drinks like Powerade or Gatorade. I just don't like the taste of it. But I do need something with electrolytes in it. But she did prescribe me a potassium tablet, and I think something with magnesium in it too. So, but what I do is I work in the garden a little. I go out, I check. I try to go as early in the morning, but even early in the morning, it is hot. We just started summer. This is July 1st actually. And oh my God, the first day of summer was June 20th. Even the end of spring here in the state that I'm in, which is Louisiana, it was in the 90s. So we had a hot spring. We really didn't have a nice, comfortable spring. And spring is one of my favorite times of the year. Spring, and I like autumn. I like autumn, the autumn leaves, and it's just a cozy, comfortable feeling, and I love spring. When you're coming out of the cold winter and everything is starting to, wake up and come alive. But it wasn't a comfortable spring. It was hot in the spring. So that's, like I always say, how spring was is any indication of how summer's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be hot. So I was telling you about the different things in the garden. One thing I wanted to tell you about is my sweet potatoes. I think it's time to harvest my sweet potatoes. And I'll definitely share that with you. I'll record it. I'm so excited. I've never grown sweet potatoes before. I put them in the soil on April 1st. I keep a journal. I think I've told you about that before. I have a journal and I have written down when I plant things, when I sow seeds, even when I put seeds in the uh, greenhouse. If I have an infestation or something like that, all of that is recorded in my little uh, journal. Basically a calendar. It has spaces where you can write things down. So it'll have the date, it'll have what happened on that day, what I planted, even if I watered or fertilized. But I mean water, I mean a deep watering. I don't mean, see, we haven't had much rain, so I've been having to go and hand water the garden daily. And I've been trying to get up and do a deep watering where you put the hose on like the shower feature where it has a nice slow flow of water, and I can put it near the soil and just let it saturate the entire container so it can get to the roots. And maybe later on that day right before I turn in and shut everything down, I may spray it again. But it's been really hot. I'm just trying to make sure everything is nice and watered. And as you can see, everything looks green and healthy. I haven't even really had any problems with insects right now. I haven't had an outbreak. So that's good. But trust me, it's coming. So I've been doing well. The garden's going well. The potatoes, not the sweet potatoes, but the regular potatoes, I have Yukon Gold, Kennebec, and Red Norland. That's what's planted. I planted them April 11th, and the seed potatoes that I used, on the bag it said it's for a late summer harvest. So I'll probably be harvesting those potatoes, I'd say early September. Late August, early September. Well, one of the indications that they're ready to be harvested is that the foliage that's on top, the foliage dies out. So that's another thing that I'll use as an indication when it's time to harvest those potatoes. But I believe the sweet potatoes are ready. I'm almost afraid to dig them up too soon, but we'll see. But whenever I harvest them, I will record it. So the peppers are doing fine. I was able to harvest my first bell pepper. I tried growing bell peppers in the spring, and it was a disaster. My plants died one by one. I have one plant left, and it's in that raised bed with the cherry tomato plant, that huge cherry tomato plant, where that basil was. And it's still producing, and it's still alive, so okay, we're doing good. But I have some more bell pepper plants that I've planted, and we're gonna see. I'm gonna keep them in a shady area. I have them mulched at least 2.5, almost 3 inches, but I believe it's 2 inches of mulch. To make sure that soil is protected and that it retains the moisture. I think it's going to work. I'm learning and I'm putting to use everything that I've learned. So it's always trial and error, but I think I'm doing pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off now and finish tidying up. There's some other things I need to put together. One of them was the greenhouse topper, and I'm done with that. The next thing will be the deck box, so I can finish organizing everything under here. It's already feeling nice, and without all that clutter, when you have so much clutter, it's hard to get comfortable. So I want it to be clutter free. It still will have gardening stuff under here, but it's going to be nice, organized. Look, you even have to wash dishes outside. I have a container of um, of just utensils that I use out here in the garden that I have to actually hand wash. So I'm doing dishes inside and outside. So I got to get to that, but that's something I can sit in the shade and just do while watching a video on my iPad. So stuff like that, that doesn't bother me because I can sit in a comfortable spot and do that. I don't actually have to go out in the heat. And that shade cloth is a godsend. That shade cloth, I'm using 50%, and I thought that would be too much, but it's working. It's working perfectly. That's my husband over there. He wanted to know if he can get near my garden with the mower. I don't know if you saw my video, protecting your garden. So I got him trained now. He asks permission before he gets near my garden. But the grass has grown up so high. Yes, I need your help. You can mow that area. So he's doing it for me. He's doing it very gently. It's so funny. I should let you see. I think I should turn the camera around so you can see him. I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. So thanks you guys for tuning in. It had been a few days since I had posted a video, so I just wanted to hop on and say hi and just show you all the different things I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. Bye, you guys. Look at him. He's being so gentle. He better not mow over my garden hose.